Hey everybody, it's MotherGoose27 and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's episode of So I Finally. This series I watched the first episode of, it was released for free on YouTube, and I immediately fell in love with it. And I told myself, okay, I'm just gonna wait until it's on Disney Plus and then binge watch the entire thing. Well, it kind of took a while for Disney to add it, but they finally did, so I finally watched Owl House. Now, quick warning, this will contain spoilers. Today, I'm going to talk about my general thoughts and the story overall, and then I'm going to talk about a couple of the characters, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. First off, Gravity Falls is one of my favorite animated series, and so to see something that was created by Alex Hirsch's girlfriend, I believe, I don't think they're married, to see the amazing world that she created, but then to also see a little bit of his influence, and like, obviously he was a voice actor for multiple characters. It was just really great, and I could easily see these two worlds being connected, but that's just a theory. I really enjoyed this show. From the very first episode to the very last, I was hooked. Throughout the series, we kind of have two major plot points. We've got Ida running from the Emperor's Coven, and we've got Luz just learning about the world, joining her magic school, and there is a lot of interlap between those two stories, which I think is really nice. And the separation between the two is also nice because it gives us a little break to learn about Ida and King away from Luz, or it gives us time to explore Luz's character when she's not around Ida and King. From the beginning to the end, broad summary. Luz comes to this world, is learning about magic. Ida is hiding from the Emperor's Coven. She has a curse that's turning her into this owl lady, and now she's trying to balance taking care of this kid and teaching her. And it all comes to a head when her curse takes over and she's captured by the Emperor's Coven, and it's up to Luz to save her. This was one of my favorite season finales for an animated series, and I really loved it because it felt like the whole series was actually leading up to that point. Almost every episode had something important to push the story in that direction to that satisfying finale, where obviously Luz saves the day, Lilith switches sides, helps her sister, takes half of the curse. It just all worked. So I'm going to talk about the characters now, and I'm specifically going to be talking about Ida, King, Luz, and Amity. I feel like I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly. Don't hate me. Let's start with Luz. She's the main character. She's great. She was a weird kid. She felt like an outcast, like her mom wouldn't accept her unless she was normal. I really related to that. I did. So I really enjoyed Luz as a character. I loved her unique use of magic. The fact that it's explained in the show that witches have this certain like gland next to their heart, I believe. I could be wrong on the location, but they have some sort of magic gland that helps them produce magic. And obviously Luz, being a human, doesn't have that. So she takes magic from the world around her. And mostly, we see her actually drawing out the runes. And I really, really like that. I did have one complaint about that, though. It doesn't seem like the best. Like, it's great. It's really interesting. And if that was her only way to use magic, that would be amazing. But it was established in episode 12 that she could use a wand. And obviously, maybe they couldn't afford a wand, or they couldn't find a wand that in itself that had a way to recharge itself, because we also see in that episode that the wand did eventually run out of power, but we are shown that she can use magic in other ways. So while I love the actual drawing out of the glyphs, I don't know if it's the most practical for her. But we'll see, maybe in season 2. Okay, let's talk about King. You cannot convince me. You can't convince me that King isn't Bill from Gravity Falls. We all know the axolotl said he'd come back in a different form. Bill is King. It's not my theory. I don't know who originally created it, but it's not my theory, and I 100% believe it. Obviously, I also think there's a really good chance he could be the actual Boiling Isles himself, but Bill would be pretty cool too. But I love King. I love how rage-fueled and how determined to be all-powerful he is. But at the same time, he's just this cute little animal who just wants to take naps. Really great character. Love him. I love Ida so much. Her rebellious attitude, the fact that she's kept it going for so long, how powerful she is, how she's been able to avoid the Emperor's Coven and the Owl House in general. Hooty, I know he's his own character, but I'm just going to lump her in here. He's great and annoying, but really powerful. Anyway, really love Ida. I thought her storyline with her sister and learning about her, the battles they had, the actual close moments they had, the very obvious care they had for one another, and the fact that it turned out it was Lilith who cursed her. It was just a very interesting storyline, and I'm really excited to see their relationship progress. Last, I want to talk about Amenity. I hated her at first. I really did. I'd seen a lot of the memes, and I was like, wow, the community really likes her. But I hated her at first, and I was like, I will never like this character. She is mean. She's a bad person. But then as the series goes on, you learn about her parents and how controlling they are and how much pressure they put on her and how she's just trying to do her best. I really did start to like her as a character. And those are some of my favorite characters. The ones you hate but grow to love. Okay, final thoughts time. I love this series. It is probably, for sure, top 10 animated series. Maybe top 5. It'll just depend on how it actually ends. But it's really good. I highly, highly recommend you checking it out if you can. I'm really excited to see what they bring in the future. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to join the flock. And I will see you in the next one. Mother Goose out.